Donald Trump has defended his use of tariffs and dismissed concerns about market volatility sparked by the global trade turmoil. Speaking to a gathering of business leaders in Washington on Tuesday, the US president said his trade policy was already showing results.
We have car companies that are not building in Mexico now, they're building in the United States. Some of them, the plants were already started and they stopped construction, and now they're going to build in the United States. It was very unfair that they'd build in Mexico and sell them across the border with no tax, no nothing.
In the audience were around 100 CEOs, and some of them may be feeling growing unease. They've all seen some $4 trillion wiped off the value of US stocks in recent weeks, amid fears over the impact of the trade war. Businesses have also been concerned by the volatility of the tariffs, which have been variously imposed and delayed, raised and lowered. On Tuesday there was more of that, with turmoil over duties on Canadian metals. Early in the day, Trump said he would double levies to 50%. He was responding to a move by the Canadian province of Ontario to impose its own tariffs on electricity supplied to America. Hours later, Ontario dropped the move, and Trump said US duties would stick at 25%. The fresh day of turmoil drove another down day for stocks, outweighing glimmers of hope over a Ukraine ceasefire. More big firms, including retailer Kohl's, also warned that the darkening economic outlook was hitting sales. In the end, the Dow Jones Index closed the day down another 1%. But if that worries Trump, it didn't show on Tuesday.
The tariffs are having a tremendously positive impact. They will have, and they are having.
Trump said his tariffs would generate a lot of money for the US and could be raised even higher in the days ahead.
Ukraine on Tuesday agreed to accept a U.S. proposal for an immediate 30-day ceasefire in the conflict with Russia. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced the agreement after more than 8 hours of talks between Ukrainian and U.S. officials in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
Today we made an offer that the Ukrainians have accepted, which is to enter into a ceasefire and into immediate negotiations to end this conflict in a way that's enduring and sustainable and accounts for their interests, their security, their ability to prosper as a nation.
Rubio said he would now take the offer to Moscow.
And we hope that they'll say yes, that they'll say yes to peace. The ball is now in their court.
The development comes after a stunning Oval Office shouting match between the presidents of the two countries.
You're gambling with World War III.
The rift had immediate repercussions for Ukraine. President Donald Trump canceled military support and ended crucial intelligence sharing. But as part of accepting the proposed ceasefire, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz said Washington will resume sharing aid and intelligence with Kyiv.
And that's effective immediately.
Outside the White House, Trump said there would be a U.S. meeting with Russia to discuss the ceasefire plan soon.
Hopefully President Putin will agree to that also, and we can get this show on the road. I think it's a big difference between the last visit you saw at the Oval Office and this. So that's a total ceasefire. Ukraine has agreed to it, and hopefully Russia will agree to it. We're going to meet with them later on today and tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be able to wipe out a deal. If we can't, we just keep going on, and people are going to get killed, lots of people.
Is Zelensky invited back to the White House?
Sure, absolutely.
Later, Russia's foreign ministry said it didn't rule out contacts with U.S. representatives over the next several days, according to state news agency RIA. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who was in Saudi Arabia but did not participate in the talks, said the ceasefire was a positive proposal.
Вважаємо це позитивним.
He also said the two countries would work to finalize a minerals agreement.
Portuguese Prime Minister Luís Montenegro's center-right minority government fell on Tuesday after losing a confidence vote in parliament. Lawmakers voted 142 to 88 with 0 abstentions against the motion. It comes after only 11 months in office and is likely to trigger an early election, the country's third in just over 3 years. The motion was presented last week after the opposition questioned Montenegro's integrity over the dealings of a consultancy firm he founded and is now run by his sons. He has denied wrongdoing or any ethical shortcomings by the firm, which has contracts with private companies. His administration now assumes a caretaker role. It will be up to President Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa whether to call a new parliamentary election. He has said a new ballot could be held in mid-May. While analysts say an early ballot is all but inevitable, they see no strong mandate for any political force emerging from it.
Let me get into this sector. I'll watch Secret Service go crazy. Thank you.
I mean, if you actually drove it around, it would really be wild.
Beautiful. Wow.
Like getting this other side.
That's beautiful. This is a different panel than I've had. Everything's computer. That's beautiful. Wow. No, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Mr. President talks about some of the violence that's been going on around the country at dealerships. Some say they should be labeled domestic terrorists.
I will do that. I'll do it. I'm going to stop them. We catch anybody doing it because they're harming a great American company. You know, I've stuck up for the NFL. I've stuck up for a lot of American companies.
This is an ancient scroll that was buried by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius 2,000 years ago. Scientists say it could reveal brand new philosophical writings. But here's the challenge.
So these scrolls can't be opened physically, it would damage them?
AI is changing that. Here's how it's helping researchers unroll scrolls like these, virtually. The Vesuvius Challenge is a global initiative that's dedicated to deciphering Herculaneum scrolls like this one. This is its project lead, Stephen Parsons.
And so we put the charred scrolls in a particle accelerator to scan the inside, and then we are developing the software that can extract the text contents of the scroll from that scan. So we're trying to look inside the scrolls and reveal the text.
AI has been trained to spot the ink on the scroll, but not to understand the words. This helps make sure it doesn't guess or change the meaning of the text. This scroll is one of 3 housed at the Bodleian Libraries in Oxford, England. The virtual unrolling of it has revealed substantial parts of the papyrus, including several columns of text. One of the first words deciphered being the ancient Greek word for disgust. This is researcher Michael McOsker.
So the Bodleian text we know is Greek. It looks like philosophy. It's almost certainly going to be a philosophical text. The odds are that it's an Epicurean text by Philodemus. Getting new texts is great. Getting new texts from an author that I've worked on for a decade and a half now is even better news. But I'll be happy whatever it is.
The Vesuvius Challenge is now inviting contributions from the global community to interpret the text. The material found could potentially reshape our understanding of literature from that era. With the ball rolling, Parsons says 2025 could be a breakthrough year.
We think this year we're going to substantially read an entire scroll for the first time. So that will be historic for a single scroll. We think we will be set to reveal quite a few new works from the ancient world.